4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
This is Movies First with Alex First.
A mind bender that doesn't make sense and gets weirder and weirder the longer it goes. That's the trip you're on when you buy a ticket to the endless. Two brothers, Justin and Aaron, have escaped a death cult, but struggle to make ends meet and make something of their lives when they return to society. Let's face it, they live in poverty, in a shared studio apartment in Los Angeles. Nearly a decade has passed since they broke free, and both are still in therapy. Still, one, Aaron the younger, is heavily drawn to the sense of comfort and not wanting for anything that the cult offered him. So, reluctantly, his elder sibling agrees to revisit the camp where they lived, just for one day. The people seem nice and welcome them back, but the strange goings-on, of which they have vague memories, are still there. The cult leader, Hal, played by Tate Ellington, who doesn't like to be known as the cult leader, is still trying to work out a complex mathematical equation, which leads God knows where. A bearded man makes a good home brew. An artist from a mental facility now calls the camp home. And then there are others, like the apparent wild man who snubs everyone and just walks fast endlessly, or the woman who writes notes about keeping quiet and is looking for her husband who disappeared in the area. Overhead are not one but two moons, and a third being formed, which may well mark the end, the doomsday. Later we learn the camp residents are on an endless loop which they can't get out of. In other words, it's Groundhog Day every day.
You're listening to Movies First. For more, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
If these thoughts appear to be the rantings of a madman, then at least I've captured your attention, just like the filmmakers have with this science fiction mystery. They've created interest by playing on the close relationship of the brothers, and the older brother's desire to help his younger sibling to overcome a major hurdle in his life. The pair is believable throughout. Of course, that aids the cause. The camp leader, too, has a certain gentle charisma about his characterisation. Non-confrontational, he nevertheless inevitably makes his presence felt, and all other campmates appear happy to play along. I bought into the contention, hoping that the payoff would be worthwhile. By the end, though, as the strange stuff became even more so, I wasn't convinced that it was. But then, that's often the problem with movies that set up a contention reasonably well. How to finish the job with not only conviction and authority, but with credibility or believability. The two stars of the piece are also the co-directors and co-editors, along with Michael Felker. Their first names are also their characters' first names. More than that, Justin Benson also wrote the piece, while Aaron Moorhead served as director of photography, and both received producing credits, a good way to keep costs down on an independent feature. They've crafted an unusual story about brotherhood, family, spirituality, rebellion and anti-conformity. That is going to have only limited appeal. The Endless scores a 6 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First with Alex First. Subscribe to the full podcast at Audioboom, Stitcher and iTunes, or your favourite podcast distributor. This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.